Welcome to the Parker Podcast Collection.
I suck, you suck, I suck at Call of Duty. You suck. You suck. You suck.
Welcome to the Not Playing Podcast. My name's Rob Howard, and this week I'm joined by
Patrick Kay.
Oh, and Matt Foxley.
You can contact us on email at notplayingpodcast@gmail.com, or you can follow us on Twitter at notplayingpod. Played the beta for The Division. Was a closed beta, but there's an open beta this weekend, 18th, 19th. This is Ubisoft's E3 darling from a few years ago, where everyone went, "Oh my god, I can't wait to play a game that will look exactly like that." But it looks pretty decent. It's not too far off. I think some of the footage that went around previously was for the Xbox, so people weren't too impressed with that. But on the PC, it looks great. I've got it running with everything on, but only at 30 FPS. But you can tweak that. In fact, you can even tweak that on the console versions, which is a first for that. So if you want 60 frames, you can have it if you turn off some things. But yeah, the game itself, it's a cover shooter. The combat's very similar to Mass Effect 2. And the setup is that there's been some kind of outbreak, and you're in like a kind of post-apocalyptic New York, Manhattan area. It seems quite big. I didn't run out of anywhere to run. And there's a lot of detail, but it very much feels like an MMO. Like there's lots going on, but you're kind of very much like the only person there, really. Well, when you start off, actually, in the starting area, there's a few people running around, and you kind of get the vibe that there's going to be people. But once you kind of go out and start doing like the very limited single player content that I played in the beta, once you start doing that, it's just you on your own, really. There's been a lot of complaints about the enemies being bullet sponges. They are, and it's not so much that they're bullet sponges, it's that it feels weird for humans to be bullet sponges. In most games like this, they're kind of robots or aliens coming at you, like in Mass Effect. So it's not quite so weird, but in Mass Effect 2, it's like... in The Division, it just feels a little bit disconcerting, because, yeah...
Is it like Mass Effect 2, Rob?
The combat is, yeah. Well, it's cover shooter, so you're like locking to cover, and then popping up and shooting and getting out of the way.
I didn't get into the beta, so...
No. Well, I mean, you can give it a go this weekend if you can be asked to deal with Uplay.
Well, I watched a lot of Twitch streamers playing it. I watched quite a few of them playing it because I was interested.
Yeah.
And I quite liked what I saw. When you said the graphics aren't good, I've got a 4K ultra settings gameplay footage that I've watched, and that looks incredible.
Yeah, I bet it does.
I mean, it looks mind-blowingly incredible.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying. I was just saying that some people were complaining because it didn't look like the E3 demo, as is the case for every Ubisoft
does, to
game.
be honest. I think it pretty much does
It's
look
quite.
like that
It's
E3
close.
demo.
It's very close.
And considering, what they'd have been running that on, the thing is though, I mean, we've both got 970 cards, haven't we, NVIDIA's?
Yeah.
I don't know what Pat's got. What have you got?
I got 780.
Right. So, I mean, I know a friend of mine who's just bought the 980 Ti.
Yeah, which is
right?
the top one.
Yeah, well, he's got an extra 25 frames a second on top of what I'm getting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's put all the settings up to maximum.
Yeah, well, once you get to that top end of the card,
shit.
That's probably the card I'm going for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just said he said it's blown him away. So he said he's just cranked everything up, and
Well, it's equivalent to what you got when you got yours, I think.
Yeah, it's a big crank up. So that's the thing as well. The Division, it's going to look great as long as you can turn everything on.
Yeah. So anyway, the game itself, the single player bit, what I like that's quite interesting about it is that you have this kind of home base, and you are basically defining how your character upgrades by the missions you do and the wings of your base that you unlock. So in the demo, you only get to upgrade like the medical wing or whatever, and that's like as much as you can do. But yeah, the big selling point of this game is the dark zone, and this is a zone which has kind of its own economy, and you go in there and you can form groups, you can form alliances on the fly, and the whole idea is that you run around, grab all the loot in there, but then you have to then extract it. And once you start extracting the loot, everyone knows that you're extracting the loot, so you can run in and people can attempt to take your loot off you, which adds kind of a welcome level of conflict into what is a multiplayer game. So yeah, so it's borrowing quite a lot from your Daisies and your whatever Ark, I guess, to an extent.
It looks really nice. That bit you just said about the PvP and stuff and everything, the Twitch guys I watched, there was a group of them that play a lot of Ark together, and they ran around in, I don't know how many you can have in a team, but I think I only ever saw 4 of them.
Yeah, it's 4. I think
it's
it's 4. Yeah.
So, but I saw them running around, cooperating together, and they're playing this thing called Manhunt.
Right.
And so basically, once they'd shot another player that wasn't involved in PvP, it put a Manhunt sign over your head on the map.
Oh yeah, you become rogue.
Yeah, so all 4 of them were becoming rogue, yeah?
Yeah.
And then going to a specific place and then trying to get the helicopter drop while being rogue, because then they were making massive amounts of EXP. And they were pulling it off.
Yeah, well, you get people apparently. Well, I've heard stories
proper
of
combat tactics, you know.
Yeah, I've heard people of stories of people who are shooting not at them but near them, and people are going, "Oh God, someone's shooting," and then it makes you rogue, not them. So everyone else can gang up on the person you're trying to do over.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that going on. But
so there's a lot of there's probably a lot of I don't know how from what I saw and stuff and everything, I didn't actually get to play it. The balancing,
Yeah.
Is there going to be some sort of like amazing class you can put together where you can run around the map and stealth kill everybody? You get what I mean?
Oh, and another thing that I know is one of your bugbears, Matt, is I was picking up gear and it wasn't looking any different on my character, which is shit.
Annoying.
It's really annoying. It's just then you're just like, just give me a number. Like, don't even make me put a new equipment
Sniper
up.
number 6, thanks.
Yeah.
I'll just equip sniper number 6. I don't even need to know why have they wasted time writing all the description about it? Maybe they'll put it in later, or they'll make it a microtransition that'll fuck everybody off.
Yeah.
So you can buy a new hat,
Yeah.
I don't know, that's probably what they're going to do, so that you can change the look of your guy.
Yeah, monetize the
appearance.
The appearance bit, yeah.
The graphics, I'm just watching that video, the graphics have definitely been nerfed since that first showing.
Yeah, I don't think it's the graphics that hurts it as much as just watching other people playing it, because the way they rehearse all those demos at E3, it's like, they're like so role-playing, like hard. And then you see like
they know
some
how to make
online.
their game. They know how to make their game look as sexy as possible.
Yeah,
they know exactly how to use that thumbstick to make it.
It's
look
dreadful
smooth.
when they do those, though.
And
it makes me cringe. It's like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, look, I'll just look over here at this tree, look, and there's a guy in front of you running at you. You're like, no one plays like that. You are like Twitch trigger finger hitting everything. The bird would die.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It like goes from like a Chris Nolan movie to Benny Hill.
It's just silly.
Which is the reality of it. So, yeah. Oh well. Well, yeah. So there's another beta. The game's actually out very soon, so I'm still in two minds whether to get it. I might give the beta another go. I haven't uninstalled it because I knew that they were doing an open beta, so hopefully I won't have to wait a day to download the fucking thing.
Oh, one sec. I just remembered they've Sweet FX'd it already as well.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I heard that they were like loads of people had modded it. Oh, okay. I'll have a look in a bit.
Have a look, but Pat can look while you talk.
Yeah.
But that does make a difference. They've Sweet FX'd it and made it a lot crunchier, added tons more snow and loads of stuff. But that obviously is, you're just going to have a really big rig to run that.
Yeah. I wonder if they've done that to Tomb Raider.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of these. I mean, Sweet FX is really good. They did Skyrim, and they've got all that sort of heritage.
They have.
I think they probably have. Yeah.
Yeah.
God knows how mental this is going to look then.
I mean, this kind of just looks like some pretty drastic contrast changes. It's not.
They've probably overcooked it a bit.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
you
it's
can
early
tweak that
days,
all
isn't it?
yourself. You know, that's the thing. You can go into it on SweetFX and tweak it all. You know, so that is a little bit overcooked, but you don't know what hits. You know, YouTube compresses it and stuff.
Yeah.
So it could be, you know, but they're all saying that it does look really beautiful. And if you're playing it, I mean, come on, this is kind of cool, isn't it?
Oh, sure. Yeah, no.
I did. I played with SweetFX for Watch Dogs. I did that because that.
It just absolutely. It just doesn't have that kind of glossy, haziness that the original footage showed. That's
I know
what
what
it is.
Yeah.
It looks more like a game now. That's all it is.
I'm pretty sure, right? Though, if you wait a bit. For the SweetFX guys and some other people, because there's some other tweaks you can do to turn off the blurring, and I think you can do that on Xbox One as well. There's like a slider somewhere, and you can adjust it, and that basically gets rid of this blurring effect, which they're trying to give it to make it look all a bit dishevelled and knackered.
Right.
And when you do that, it makes everything a lot sharper.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, but I think there's more. I mean, Total Biscuit is probably one of the guys that will do a really good. Read up on on the whole thing where he goes through.
He did do what the fuck is Division.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
He's good. I have been listening to more of his stuff actually.
He's really good at doing those tweaks as well because he'll tell you what all the things do and what he set it on.
Yeah, port report.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. Sorry. So I'll just finish my segue into Tomb Raider because I have been playing Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's really good. Have you tried this yet, Pat?
No, I haven't played it yet.
Okay, well I won't spoil it or anything, and I won't.
I haven't played
I
it
won't
either.
gloat too much. I know, yeah, but you're kind of actively not playing it, aren't you, Matt? So
I'm actively not playing Tomb Raider.
yeah. Well, the thing is, right? I know you say it's a bit on rails, and it is sometimes, but the way they've constructed this game, like the first game, did sort of feel like quite sort of linear, like that. Some of the areas were like open, but they weren't like. It would kind of encourage you to replay it, but it always felt like an effort to go back to finish off stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, what they've sort of done is, well, I've got to the second kind of open world area, and it's not like mega Skyrim. It's sort of like it's just a kind of big open area with objectives, side missions, things like that to do. And the way it kind of feels is like you're kind of dumped into this big open area, and then you're doing all the kind of big sort of questy missions, like story missions, all the way around the side of it, and you end up back in the open world again. So it's kind of, I think they're trying to please everyone to an extent. I mean, there's like these big sort of, there's a lot more tombs in it.
Well, that's old Tomb Raider, Rob, that.
Yeah.
You just said.
Yeah, probably.
That's how they used to do it. They used to show you a big temple. Like amazing, like even a little bit of a sort of cut screen kind of, sort of zooming in and then zoom back out, and then you would have to run around, probably about an hour before you'd actually get to that point.
Yeah, but
then you'd
there
go,
was still,
oh, that's where I am, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but I think in the old Tomb Raider games, it was all like
nice.
It was all like a puzzle getting to that place, and that was the way you got there.
Yeah.
Whereas what they've done in this is it's like, well, here's a little puzzly bit. Now go and play Skyrim. For a bit, and hunt some stuff, and do some missions, rescue some people, pick up lots of collectibles. So many collectibles. I would have probably finished this game if I hadn't been.
Is it hard though?
No, not in the slightest.
That's what I don't like about it. First one was amazing because it was so hard.
Yeah.
Whereas it just seems a bit like, press B to go across to this ledge. Press hold A in to keep gripped hold of it.
Although
where's the danger of dying?
I will say though, even though it's not especially challenging, you do, as you go along in the game, you get like some better sort of stuff. Like you get this axe hook thing, so you can jump, and then like how you jump and leap onto the wall to with your piton axe thing to crawl up the wall.
Yeah.
Well, you can do this in like mid-air to grab hold of things, and you end up building up some amazing like locomotion, like when you're going down these huge sort of sheer sort of cliff faces and stuff. It's awesome. But yeah, the combat it's kind of, the combat is more of like, just here's a bunch of stuff to use. It's not going to kick your ass especially, and just come up with the most amusing way of dispatching all these dudes that are like really easy to get rid of. I mean, like there's guys that come at you with shields and you just shoot their feet. You know, it's like that's how you deal with it.
That's why I'm not playing it.
But you get like explosive arrows later, and it's loads of fun, and you can like climb up onto trees and like drop down on people.
Arrow in the knee.
It did remind me a bit of Assassin's Creed 3 in places, just because I was leaping from tree to tree, and then jumping on fucking deer. I don't know.
I might pick it up in a Steam sale at some point if there's a lull in game activity.
But it just...
I'm actually really looking forward to it. The only reason I haven't played it yet is I just haven't had time, and I've got a bit of a thing about Tomb Raider. It's because it's like my favourite kind of game. So when I play it, I generally that's something I want to spend like an entire weekend doing. I don't want to play it in sort of like 3-4 hours at a time. I generally want to just demolish those games. That's why
I had a good old session on it yesterday, actually, because I was off work. I played it for about 3 or 4 hours, and I really kind of got into it. I was really, really enjoying it.
Cool. But what I want to know, though, what I want to know, Rob, is like, is it a Tomb Raider game? Like, is it? Have they gone back to more of the traditional Tomb Raider game with like the puzzle solving? Because that was like such a secondary thing in the last one. And it moved towards being more like Uncharted or Assassin's Creed, because those are games which were built on the DNA of the original Tomb Raider. Yeah. So like, is this game like more like the original Tomb Raiders, or is it something else? Like, I know there's more tombs in it, but has it got that puzzle DNA back into it again? Like,
I think they've tried. I think it still feels secondary, but but there's definitely more of it. Yeah. But like the tombs that they're saying they're optional. I've done about I think I've probably done about 8 or 9 of them, and I'm about 15 hours in, and they haven't accounted for the lion's share of that time, But each one's kind of got one sort of little tricky puzzle. Probably takes about 10-15 minutes to do it, and at the end of it though you get like a tangible reward, like the ability to fire 2 arrows at once, or all different kinds of upgrades. But that's why I've been running around collecting all the shit, because you get new weapons and stuff that all kind of have their own sort of little, I guess it's subtle really, because you can upgrade all the weapons as well, so it doesn't make too much difference, but I like having all the stuff. It's the same reason I ended up spending so long in Shadow of Mordor, was just because I wanted to get all the abilities and stuff. So, but you get cool, like I've just got the ability to, when I'm in stealth, I can mark 3 targets and then kill them all in one shot. So there's some quite rewarding stealth mechanics in there, but it just looks incredible, honestly.
Yeah, it does. It looks great.
It's if you like eye candy, I mean, this is the game. I haven't got it running with everything on, because I did a bit of research and I was a bit dismayed that I couldn't have like very high textures, but those very high textures are 4K. It scales all the way up. So they actually, in the latest patch, they put a warning on there saying like, don't even bother unless you've got like over 4 gigs of video RAM. So, but it still looks fucking excellent. Like, when some of the cutscenes, I mean, there's definitely a bit more detail on the cutscenes, but she just looks like a real girl. Like, it's just unbelievable. And, it's just.
You know what real girls look like, though, Rob?
Well, they don't all look like Lara, but.
No, of course
not. They look, yeah, but she's just like what you want to look at, basically, if you're playing a game for 20 hours.
I guess this is going to be. It's going to be bundled with loads of graphics cards as well, isn't it?
I would imagine
the last
so.
one. Maybe I'll see if I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone with the next card.
Yeah, I think that's how Ian picked it up.
It'll be in a Steam sale not too long.
Ian gets loads of graphics cards at work. You should just ask him, see if he's got a spare.
Yeah,
980 Ti.
Oh no, just
Hang on, I'm texting him
plastic
now.
card.
I'm texting him now. Give me a 980 Ti.
This has been the Not Playing Podcast in partnership with notlistening.co.uk, where you can also hear myself and Ian talk about movies and TV on the Not Watching Podcast, and Adam, Ash and Will talk about all manner of funny things on the Not Listening Podcast. You can email us at notplayingpodcast@gmail.com, or you can tweet at or follow us on Twitter at notplayingpod. You can find the show notes for this show at notlistening.co.uk, and if you're listening to us on iTunes, please do give us a review. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for listening. See ya.
See ya.
My friend, I'm inclined to agree, 'cause I suck at Call of Duty.